You know.
At least you warned us.
Who brought show and tell? Everybody. Awesome. Let's start over here. Judy,
All right.
hold your blocks up.
So this is one from last time.
That's pretty.
Thank you. And I had help picking out the colors. And then this is the other one.
I like that. Ooh, that's pretty.
That's pretty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Same ones. The only thing is that you really have to watch to make sure your little hourglasses go the same way.
Yep. You have to what?
The hourglasses.
The little hourglasses.
Oh, okay.
I was going along and I got to looking, and
Definitely need to
this
weigh them
one.
out.
this one and this one, I had them turned
Oh, okay.
the wrong direction.
See, I would have left it.
I took it apart.
But it was one row, that was one row. You have the
And
one.
backgammon, I've got them all done, but this one, there's 120 pieces in that.
It's a lot of pieces.
But I think it turned out pretty good.
It's a beautiful block.
It is.
Yeah.
But I love her colors.
You know what that would make? A great border.
This.
Oh, it
Oh,
sure
yeah.
would.
Piece border, haven't done that for a
You
while.
know what? That would be a great border around this.
I like ribbon ribbon
The
fashion.
ribbon, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I just have one because I'm like so late, but here's number 4. I've been doing other things and I did get 5 started and 5 and 6 cut out, and I just got to zoom in without really looking, and I did all 24 of those little E blocks. Like they're quarter,
Yeah.
not half square, and I did them like half square triangles, so I just decided I didn't want to keep, I'll just cut more out. I unsewed some of them, like about 8, and then I just recut.
But we
the
always
rest of
keep
them.
this fabric in stock if you need more.
Then I got sidetracked and did something else. So, and then but I'm gonna be sewing on.
So you didn't pre-cut all your blocks, your pieces before?
No, because I have the kit, so you just do what you have.
yeah, that's right.
And so I had some, but I didn't have all of them. But anyway, I'll get there.
Okay, come up here so everybody can see, because somebody
Nice.
is an overachiever.
Well,
She already put hers together.
She figured it out from looking at the block what the last pieces were.
oh,
my
Oh.
goodness.
Wow.
I didn't
Oh,
need that ambitious.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I
It is
renamed
gorgeous.
it
What is it?
Southwest Sunset.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That
I
fits.
love it.
And this is gonna be
Ooh.
the back.
Oh,
Awesome.
very pretty.
I love that.
I recognize that. We used
Pretty,
to have that
pretty,
here.
pretty.
I thought that's where I got it.
That's beautiful.
Do you have enough?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Cool.
there are errors in there, but you know what?
You
You
know
don't
what?
see them.
It's finished.
I love it.
Pretty,
Thank
pretty,
you.
pretty.
I think that's great.
Turn it around so we can see the bottom.
The bottom, I thought you were gonna say the back, and I was gonna say no.
Wow. Where are the 2 blocks we're doing next?
Goes up in the upper corner.
Yeah, these two.
Those 2. Okay, got it.
And I just looked at the master based on all of the other ones.
Yeah, figured out the pieces.
Your backgammon board was really good.
Doesn't
I
it?
do like that
Different way to
change.
do it.
Well, the colors, the way she placed those,
Mm-hmm.
that looks really nice.
Yeah, you could just do one piece of that for the border, on the border.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be pretty border?
Make your points go out.
Yep.
No, I'm looking at backgammon and wondering if I did mine wrong.
Nope.
No.
She rotated one of the coats, so
I like it.
Did I put it in wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
You rotated one of the, so.
That's okay.
That
It
top
still
one.
looks good.
Oh, well.
You know what?
It
I
looks
like
great.
it the way it is.
This
Yep.
design.
Nobody would know.
It's pretty cool, so way to make it your own. So yours is like,
Definitely.
who's next?
Are you gonna quilt that?
Yes. My sister gave me
Yeah.
her learning at Q16, so this may be the first project on it.
How fun.
This isn't our project we're currently doing, but it was all cut with Go, but it's not a Go pattern. But I thought you might want to see it anyway.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Ooh,
that's
wow.
pretty.
Yeah.
Is that BQ3 or?
love
BQ5. I
BQ5.
brought the pattern. if
I
anybody
love the
wants to see it.
star in the middle.
And I reversed what the pattern was, because I wanted the black pinwheels to show up, and the black against the fabrics.
That's beautiful.
I love the color.
Love the marble.
Yeah, that's fun. I like.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Karen.
Oh, that's another one of her.
The only thing I cut on Accuquilt was the border. I just,
Oh,
Jane wanted to
so
see
cute. It's Easter.
wanted to see it, so I brought
That's
it.
adorable.
cute?
That's cute.
It's not mine. Mine's still a pattern.
It's sitting in front of you.
And I just got the other twos. I did these colors and I'm not happy with them.
I like it.
It'll be okay. It'll be a good masculine one.
I think it's
Like
gonna
I'll
be
do it
very,
for my dad, maybe.
It
What did you make for the
reminds-
borders and stuff and finishing?
I haven't done it yet, but I've got the fabric and it's gonna be probably the sand and maybe a cream, not the dark.
It reminds me of Jenny Haskins' latte quilt.
Oh, yeah.
And this is not Accuquilt except for all the borders and all that, but I did that book that you put out with the
Oh,
tulips.
Oh, that's adorable.
It turned out cute.
Yeah, all of those patterns in that little table under quilt are Accuquilt family.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. I haven't even, but I did just use all my scraps, you know.
That's what mine are all
But these are
ready
fabrics
to
for
layer,
here.
Yeah.
but I
I
haven't
had a
put
whole
any
set of
further.
them. So that turned out, got that done this week.
Very nice. Everybody is so ambitious.
Gotta be.
Okay, this is the first time I've cut today.
Yay, Peggy!
Judy, this is for class.
I love it.
That's
Darling.
Little table runner and placemats.
Oh, how darling.
Adorable.
And what class? When is the class?
It's in April.
Okay.
It's called Stars and Stripes.
Cool.
It's that time.
It's beginner friendly.
I like the back on that one too.
I love that fabric.
Yeah.
I collect patriotic fabrics. So.
Very nice. You're all ready for 4th.
Did you get
Memorial
the
Day.
log cabin quote? Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Marilyn and I got it, and we're sharing.
Are they all
We're
done?
splitting it.
cut any more kits.
Oh.
You haven't cut anymore?
We can't,
We-
we don't have
we're
enough
out.
fabric to make a full kit anymore.
Okay.
We can substitute stuff.
I can see if Moda has more. You think that
People are asking.
still early, so you know, come
It's hanging up out
May,
there.
June.
Oh, I have to
The log cabin one.
Yeah, that will have something for her.
I'm almost finished with.
Okay, well, I have show and tell too. Judy, you're gonna help me. Please.
Of course.
This is our next project. This is a cube project. It is big.
Not little tiny pieces.
Not
it is
for really
not.
short people.
Well,
That's beautiful.
Bed would that fit? Queen?
it is in the 90s. I don't remember exact size,
Okay.
but it's like 91 or 92 inches.
Add a border around it.
And a border, and you got a king.
Okay. So
So
the corners are all the same.
corners are all the same. I like these corners because I haven't had a chance. I just finished it. I'm trying to be ahead and show you what we're actually gonna make. I like the corners because it looks like they're floating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So corners are all the same. I like these corners because they're I haven't had a chance. I just finished it. I'm trying to be ahead and show you what we're actually gonna make. I like the corners because it looks like they're floating. Yeah. So
I love that, kind of teal or whatever color you call it there in the center.
Yeah.
That just, I don't know, it just,
So you've got 5 blocks like the center.
Yep, you got 5 blocks. I'm gonna do some bonus with this pattern. There's a book. I have it at home. I didn't bring it. I should have. I don't know if we have one. I'll look here in a minute after we finish up. But the kit for this is, if you want it. I don't quite have the pattern done yet, so I don't know how many months we're gonna be with this. It's
but it's neat.
but at least 5 or 6.
Wasn't it, different sizes you do, depending on the cube, I guess?
It depends on the cube. So I would not go bigger. So if you do 9-inch cube, it's going to be very, very big. I'm going to remake it. That's the 8-inch cube. So you do need the 8-inch cube, corners, and angles for this one.
Okay.
I'm going to do it again in the 4-inch cube because I can have a wall hanging at home because this will stay at the shop. So, yeah, if you wanted it smaller, you could use a smaller cube. I'm not going to have time to do all the math for the smaller cube. So say you wanted to do the 6-inch cube. Yeah. So.
Are you going to break down what each fabric?
Yes, we will do
So
it.
we can use our own fabrics if you want.
Right. To get you using it, teach you some of the little stumbling places. So like in this border, typically this piece is used to make, it's a 440 or flight block. And so it's not the easiest thing in the world. Has anybody done it? Sewn these together to do a border?
No, not for a border.
So, that's one learning objective with this. This is not sewn on point, but it looks like it is, right? So I'm just gonna part of that. This is a straight row. So all of your rows are straight across. So creating this effect is part of the objective as well, to get the diamond pattern but still piecing in straight rows. And I may do the finishing instructions in blocks. So to sew together like some very large blocks, because I made a lot of mistakes piecing this and I don't want you to struggle. I pieced it in rows, and you can do it too. I started with the middle pieces.
Give me some help.
Yeah. So your top and bottom rows are exactly the same. So this row and the bottom row are exactly the same, and you piece 2 of them. So when I started piecing it, I pieced these 2 together times 2, and then I would put the outside pieces on and just move out in the row. When I got to this little blade in the diamond, it was kind of, I had to stop for a second and make sure that it was pointing the right direction. When I got towards the middle, I kind of knew that this blade always was next to this little block. But there's a lot to keep track of, whether it's going in the right direction. So I think it might be easier if we pieced blocks.
Right.
So I'll probably do it that way
Okay.
when I write the pattern. Did I tell you how much the kit is?
151.
159. Pattern's gonna be 12. Patterns are going up. And so I'm just being competitive with the marketplace. You can sign up today. We are going to use Kim Deal fabrics. I don't know if I have enough to do kits for everyone for these fabrics, but we have a new collection coming, and we'll use them. And then I have they'll be very similar. So your teal is going to be, I'm pretty sure I have enough of this teal to use it. The pinks may be different. I did borrow some fabrics from Kansas Troubles, like this black and this navy. The navy is also Kansas Troubles. So, but they work together. They're neighbors as far as color scheme. So.
And you're starting out next month.
Next month. And you can sign up today. We'll send out an email and remind everybody.
Is today the last class?
Today is the last class for this one.
Oh, I should have brought mine.
Okay, so if you have a kit on block 15, for everybody that got the kit, you're cutting out shape, color. I have to turn my pattern over. This is just a beautiful block by itself.
It would be pretty and scrappy too.
Yep. Okay, block 16. If you have the kit, those of you that used your own fabrics or cut it all out in advance, yep. You're cutting out shape A. In colonial blue. Everything else should already be cut. You should already have enough. In that block, everybody has a pattern. Looks like this for the people online. Okay, finishing. So for the finishing instructions, you can drag out your cube or your strip die. So you need 25 of
Do we have the,
wind.
I don't, oh, sorry. Here,
I printed mine on separate pages so I can
yeah,
do just this.
no problem.
So 25 of wind, and it's just 2.5 inch squares. And then in your kit, on the sashing fabric, 12.5 inches, and then fan folded across your 2.5 inch strip die. You get 16 pieces from a width of fabric, so you're going to need 3 pieces. Same thing with the inner border and the outer border. So you're going to cut your, actually that's just the opposite. So when I calculate borders, let's go over that. So when I calculate borders, I take the dimension of the quilt, so each side, and say it's 50 by 50. We'll make the math easy here. So if it's 50 by 50, you take 50 times 4 for the 4 sides. And then you divide that by 40. We don't do 44 because there's the salvage when you're piecing your strips together, you're angling like this and then piecing across so that it comes out straight like this. So that's where the 4 inches goes, is in that overlap. So when I calculate borders, I do the outside perimeter. Thank you. I'm losing my words. Perimeter divided by 40, and that gives you the number of strips that you need. If it's 5.5, then you need 6 strips to get enough to do the border. And then piece the whole thing together. I do like measuring my borders because you ever had a quilt with a wavy border? It's your, everybody say it with me, presser foot pressure.
Yeah.
Keep talking about that. So same thing with the outer border. And then, so you just sew all of that together and then you have enough to make your outer border. Same thing with binding.
Adding 4 inches, what was that?
So width of fabric is usually anywhere between 42 and 44 inches. So
Only cutting 40.
we only calculate 40. So, and the reason I don't do the 42 or 44 or whatever it ends up being is because you're gonna lose it when you overlap it like this. Not in the die cutting, when you're sewing.
Diagonal.
Oh, yeah, sorry. In the diagonal, you're gonna lose,
Yeah.
That's why I calculate by 40. And I haven't had it not work yet, and I've even done it with even up to 6 inch. Because usually if you're doing a 10-inch border, you're gonna need extra because, and if I was doing a 10-inch border, I'd just do a straight seam. But with these smaller ones, I like the diagonal because it makes it easier to just piece it and quilt it.
So even though you show that you're not showing it on the diagonal here, you're still cutting it or sewing it on the diagonal, like the outside border.
Right, so the outside border,
I like
you
your
don't,
binding.
right. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, nobody does that in their patterns,
Okay.
but it is always pieced in probably
It
maybe,
looks like it's broken down into 4 pieces on these.
yeah, so you're gonna measure your sides. Actually, it's on here, so you're gonna need 2 of each of the sides, 2.5 by, ooh, that's tiny, 62.5 and 58.5. Sorry about the tiny font. I need to change the
Will
default.
it be bigger for will the font
Yes, yes,
They're all getting old. Let's see.
I know.
Magnifying
So
glasses don't always work on this.
No, they don't. You have
The,
to get that diagonal.
on your yardage requirement, everybody does the same thing. They put a little hashtag and said, this assumes that the long pieces are pieced. So,
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, question.
Seeing this here, this is just showing us the color, right?
Right,
I'm
right.
seeing the one patch, I'm thinking.
What, yeah,
But it's just the color of the.
right. So in the direction, it's saying cut 2.
Uh-huh.
Cut 2.
Yeah.
I could just take that one patch out and it would be fine.
I have a question.
Question.
You had said something about pressure foot pressure. I don't know what you mean.
So presser foot pressure, it's usually, what machine do you have?
I have a brother and a Janome.
Okay. So what Janome?
A newer one.
Newer one.
Sorry, I don't know the numbers.
So on your Janome, it's probably going to be electronic. So, and it'll be a picture of a presser foot.
Okay.
And on your brother, it's probably on a dial either on the side or on the back. And it has numbers on it, like 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
So presser foot pressure is, if you've ever sewn 2 pieces of fabric together, they start out the same size, but when you finish, they're like this.
Right.
Or like this.
Yes.
This is too much presser foot pressure when your top piece is longer than your bottom piece. This is not enough presser foot pressure when your bottom piece is longer than your top piece.
So the top, when it goes this way,
When it goes, this is too much presser foot pressure. So if you always end up, so if you don't measure, I'll be honest, I don't measure, but I know that my machine is spot on because I do test it for that, because I would rather test my machine with the fabric that I'm sewing than measure the borders and then pin, because it's more work. So if you take probably, we'll say 18 inches of fabric in a little strip on the stretchy grain,
Okay.
right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So on the stretchy grain, take 2 pieces of 18-inch fabric and sew them together. If they come out, I would say, even a 1/4 inch off, you should be okay. If they're an inch off, you need to make an adjustment,
Okay.
because you magnify that over the length of the quilt. So I don't measure. And it turns out pretty okay with my borders when I'm just doing a straight grade border across the quilt. But yeah, this is presser foot pressure, and that's how you test it. Too much, not enough.
So the top one with it, this is too much top pressure?
This is too much presser foot pressure.
Can you do that, like, if we were sitting at our machine, putting it through this way, just so that, like,
Well, when you take it out, right? So when you take it out, so if the top fabric is longer than the bottom fabric, so like this.
there you go, thank you.
So like this. If you end up like this, that's too much presser foot pressure. If you end up like this, not enough presser foot pressure. Okay? So the feed dogs are pulling the bottom through a little faster.
What if it's pinned? If you have a pin drill?
You should be okay.
Yeah.
Unless you ever run into, like, I don't know how far apart you pin, but if you pin or glue, right? If you pin really far apart and you ever see the top fabric wanting to go over the pin, that's presser foot pressure.
But a Juki is automatic too, I think.
The only machine out there that is automatic with the presser foot pressure is Husqvarna Viking. Your Juki is not.
I see that foot that she was talking about, the picture.
Right. If you click on it, there's a place where you can, so in your Janome and your Juki, some of the newer brothers,
My Bernina has that.
your Bernina, if you click on the foot, you can increase or decrease the presser foot pressure.
So it's better just to test your machine and see how close it is.
Mine's
Yes.
always been just right on.
Out of the factory, they're set for quilters weight cotton. This is heavier than quilters weight cotton, so you might need to drop it down a couple of notches if you don't want to measure your border. But if yeah. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that's how that works.
I measured top and bottom and middle, and then take an average before I cut mine.
Yeah.
And then the same way for the sides. I just have always done it that way.
Yeah.
So,
So when I do
'cause
mine,
I'm
Yeah.
a scaredy cat. I want to make sure it's right.
when I do mine has the a little turning knob on the top. It's a ISO on an industrial, and so industrial machines can be a little more precise than our home sewing machines because they sew so much faster. So when I sew my borders on, I don't even cut it. I just sew the side on, trim it, press it open with my little doohickey, put the next piece on, and then trim it off after. So I'm lazy like that. I know the right way.
But you're efficient. See, I'm slow and methodical.
Me too.
Bill Gates
I
says,
made mine 3 or 4 times. The sides,
Yeah.
the middle, then maybe a third of the way, whatever.
nothing wrong with being lazy. Bill Gates says that he will hire lazy people because they will figure out the most efficient way to do something. Like, here I am. Okay, any questions? I'm gonna end the live, and then I have some machine specials to tell you about, but I can't say